So the album is very rich, and on a song like "Work," that's is trying to get people to go out and do work. So what was the inspiration behind that song? Was there any personal story there?
So there was some guy on Twitter. I was on Twitter one evening, and
Right.
some guy said, he said, and I quote in his words, said, I want a sleeve tattoo, but I don't have money. That's what inspired work. When I saw that tweet, I just laughed like, you want a sleeve tattoo, but you don't have money, brother. Just work, and I wrote the song immediately.
So how fast are you with writing? Because people see musicians and they think, writing is easy or actually creating it is easy. How quickly can you dish out a song?
Okay, so for me, I don't rush it.
Right.
I do not rush anything because at the end of the day, nobody's compelling me to put it out now. So I make sure I get it very, very well. So some songs on the album that I wrote like in a day, I wrote Sade for like 6 months.
Wow,
Not
six
like I was
months.
writing it every day. Yeah, because I wrote the chorus first, like 6 months earlier than I finished the rest. So for a song like Work, it took me like 2 3 days to finish that. Yeah, and then so sometimes like the whole album took me 2 years to write, almost 2 years to write.
Wow. So was there any frustrating moments while, recording or writing this album?
Oh yeah, there were
Could you?
because songs like No Salabere I recorded like 3 times. No Forget I recorded like 3 times as well, and then Paradise and Friend Zone I almost removed just once as well. So like there were a lot of things that happened.
So what was the theme you wanted to go with this album? What was the story? Was it Adekunle's story? Was it a theme you were trying to set overall? What was the idea behind the
It
album?
was just how I was feeling when at those at the times that I was writing the song. Sometimes I wait to feel something before I write about it. Sometimes I write people stories. Sometimes I'm on Twitter every other day looking out for what people are talking about, and then I write about it. So I was just feeling really golden
Right.
at the time. Yeah.
So you're very active on Twitter, and is it that you're looking for inspiration or you want to interact with people?
Oh, I'm a talkative. Like no, like I'm just um I like gisting and I like interacting with people naturally. And this is not because I'm trying to get something. I don't like being bored like anyhow. So I'm always on Twitter because there's a lot to just do on Twitter really. There's some scandal that you need to laugh about. There's somebody that you need to laugh at and everything. So Twitter generally, yeah. If you see the number of tweets that I have, you will know
Yeah.
how much I love Twitter. Like I just tweet a lot. I love tweeting.
So
Just saying, yeah.
what are some funny stories you've come across on Twitter?
Okay, some one that I cannot forget because I even wrote about it. Some guy that traveled 17 hours to see a girl, and the only thing that he was supposed to be a Twitter lord,
Right.
one of those Twitter lords that make mouths, yeah,
Yeah.
about girls and everything. So he went to see that girl, and the only thing they did was just take a selfie and watch a movie. And then he was now bragging about something else on Twitter. Like, he was not talking about some guy. Like, how can you go and visit a girl and all you do is just gist? So apparently, the girl that he went to visit for 17 hours
Friends
put him on blast. Put him on a blast.
Yeah.
Tweeted about him like, why are you talking like this? You that came to my house for 17 hours. What did you do? Did you not just take selfie? And I wrote about it. I wrote a verse. I wrote it as a verse for the song that I featured.
So the song Friend Zone actually was you took a more comedic tone with that. Was that like, were you trying to be a comedian or was it just the flow of that song?
Somehow, I, I'm sort of humorous in my writings, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't just like writing something that is basic. So I try even in the very love songs that I write,
Right.
there's a bit of comic relief. Um, I love funny things. I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh. So somehow I sort of infuse comedy, like humor, in my songs.
So you've said you don't drink alcohol or take anything before performing. Is it that you want to have like fuel the energy there, or are you just that kind of performer that doesn't need it? You're naturally
Because
energetic.
because I feel like I don't need it. When you're telling a story, what do you need to tell a story really? You don't
Yourself.
need any story. It just needs to be just yourself, and then I mean, you don't need to take anything. You don't need any extra thing to gist to people. You don't need any extra thing to communicate to people.
Okay.
So, and that's how I see my performance. I'm not on stage to just jump around. I'm on stage to connect to people.
Right.
So I don't think I need anything extra.
Definitely. So you had talked about when you go into a gig around the era of like Sade Oriente, and you went with a 1999 car, and they didn't open up for you. So now, do you still face that kind of reception? And do you still have that car? Have you gone to the level of like a Lamborghini or something?
Well, I'm still waiting for God to pick up so I can buy my Bentley.
I think God has picked up already, Adekunle.
Well, if you have Range Rover and you're not using, please send it to me.
No. All the album sales now.
Well, by God's grace. But yeah, I'm better now. I mean, I'm not driving 1999 car anymore, so thank God.
Yeah. So, do you think you've set the bar too high for yourself now that you've dropped gold? And like, I know it's still too early, let's just say in gold, but do you think like for your next project, it's going to be harder to top it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Because first, I'm not in charge of my inspiration. I mean, it's God. So first, I know for sure that God will inspire me even more. And then while I was writing for this album, I wrote for 2 albums.
wow.
I wrote like I was going to drop 2 albums. So if I'm going to drop the next single tomorrow, I have one already.
Right.
So I don't have I'm not perturbed. I'm not bothered. I'm
Right.
fine.
So, are you dropping a single or is it videos for the album that are coming next?
I
Or are
mean,
you still
single.
working on the GoFundMe?
Yeah, I'm still working on the Gold album.
Yeah. No, because you said you want to open a GoFundMe for your videos to be.
When people were saying that I should drop, apparently everybody wants videos for all the songs. I'm like, you would not kill me. I don't even have money to do videos for all the songs. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, God helping me. I'll do the best that I can.
So, are you trying to push your album globally, or are you just focused on maybe Nigeria and
Oh no,
Africa?
I'm pushing globally. I'm pushing globally. My music is not just for Nigeria; it's for the world.
Yeah, I think this album does have crossover appeal, despite maybe it being in Yoruba. How would you say, like, for people who aren't Yoruba? Because I personally I understand some like words and I can try and understand what you're saying, but how would you? Is there a way to understand what you're saying without like having a translator?
Is there a way to understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Yoruba, some songs you're in Yoruba and you're singing in Yoruba, and unless you have someone to translate it, you might not get the full gist of what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so. I don't think I'm bothered about getting the full gist of what I'm saying. Really, I just connect to the song because I listen to, for example, I listen to Angelbert. I don't know how to pronounce the name very well, so forgive me.
Okay.
Angelbert
Yeah.
Humperdinck, the
Right.
Quando song.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what the heck he's saying in the song. I just love the sound. I just love this. There are a lot of there are a lot of Igbo songs, also songs that I listen to, and then I don't understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
But it's just beautiful to me. And I think sometimes that's about it. You don't even have to understand it. And it's happening already with the music. A lot of people like see what you said about Yash. Yash is not even Nigerian. She's not Nigerian. She's not bad. But she cried when she listened to No Forget.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I think that's all that I need.